Hello everyone and welcome back to Tom Studios. Today I'm playing Kerbal Space Program again. It's a beautiful night, and in this video... Oh wow, is that Minmus or the moon? We'll find out. But in this video I'm going to show you a tutorial on how you can get to the moon. How do I recover this? Oh, there are multiple different... Now, getting to the moon is kind of hard if you're new to the game, so don't feel bad if, well, you struggle with it. Well, there's no enemy. So I'm going to show you in this video how to get there. How do I can't go to the map, can I? Oh wait, tracking station. Alright, so there's the moon, which is our target. Meaning that thing we saw in the sky is indeed Minmus. I didn't know you can see Minmus from Kerbin at night. Well, there's Minmus. Beautiful, isn't it? Alright, so first let's start with the vehicle. I already have a vehicle built, so you can just copy the general idea. Alright, here it is. Believe it or not, this thing can get you to the moon and back. So there are 6 engines made of 2 fuel tanks, and in this type of engine, there are 2 fuel tanks in between. There is below, underneath them, there is a radial decoupler that they're attached to. Then in between them there's another one and a strut connector connected to this one from the radial decoupler to the booster, just make it more stable. It sounds confusing, I know. Alright, so then there is a stack separator with this kind of booster and 4 landing struts. I use the L2. There are some launch stabilizers down there as well. And I just gotta put all this back. There we go. Alright, there are some RCs in case they're needed, some spotlights to see. Now you'll definitely need ladders if you want to plant a flag. Now getting back in the rocket with this system is kind of hard, but it's possible. And I'll show you how to do it. Then above the RC, some batteries to store power and solar panels. Now if you do need solar panels or enough batteries power, because if you're out of battery, the game will say your controls are locked and you can't control it anymore. Then you'll have to do a rescue mission. Generous. Alright, he'll be our pilot. Our scientist can be Brian, and Leia is the engineer. Great. Now the hardest part is landing on the moon and getting into the orbit of Kerbin. Is it orbit or orbit? I don't know. Alright, so you want to make sure the moon is opposite to you. Oh, it is. It's perfect. The reason for this is in case something goes wrong and you don't have an orbiter on Kerbin, but you're on an escape route, your escape route could come across the moon, and you can encounter it. My dog just entered. Okay, so first thing you want to do is toggle SAS. I don't know what SAS stands for, but it really doesn't matter. Alright, so you want to have it on stability assist to just help you with stability. Let's make sure everything's in the right order, so that'll fire. Then that, then that. Alright, now one of the things you'll definitely need, I didn't show you, but add a heat shield under the capsule in this separator and a parachute up top. You can add a crew escape system, but it's not really necessary. so it can revert the flight, and the crew members will respawn. Alright, so you just go full throttle. Now, I don't know what this blinking light means, but it doesn't really matter. No, not recover. You can click here to turn on lights. I removed that action group, but it's automatic in the rocket. You can also click the lights on here if you want to, well, turn your lights on. Well, anyway, let's get to the point. So once your throttle is full, you just click spacebar, and your rocket will take off. Now once this says 100 meters per second, you hold D and turn till that 90 degree. And that's what SAS is for. It'll help you to be stable so you don't tilt over or roll. Then just turn a little. Alright, Genless has got this. We're kind of stable. Now you want to create a quick save every now and then. In case something goes wrong, especially during stage separations, because it can sometimes go wrong. Alright, now once this starts, you see the white stuff up here? Go in between that 90 and that 90. This isn't 100% accurate for getting into orbit, but this is what I usually do and it works, mostly. It's a beautiful night. And, wait, is that Minmus or is that just a star? I think it's actually Minmus. Yeah. You can check inside if you want. The burn's not that bad yet, but there's fire. Your rocket will be okay. Just don't go too much to that side when launching, because otherwise you could be in the burning area too long and you could burn up. So there's our apoapsis. That's the highest point in our orbit. This line means if I were to cut the engines, the rocket would move along this line. So we just crash back on Kerbin, and we don't want to do that. You can barely see the space center down there. Alright, so when the bar is getting quite low, you just want to create a quick save. In case something goes wrong and the rocket explodes. It can happen that it explodes when things separate or almost out of fuel. See, there was a tiny explosion there. I don't know what that was, but it didn't affect the rocket. So, alright, once you've deployed those stages, go full 90. The burn should stop. Alright, then you want to go this way into the brown area. It will make your rocket point down, but it'll make this go up slower and make this go up faster. Now your periapsis is the lowest point in your orbit. Now you want your periapsis above 60,000 meters. Because below 60,000 meters, your rocket will burn up in the atmosphere when it reaches that point. And you want an orbit in case you won't encounter the moon going this way. Alright, there it rises. And there's our periapsis. That T means that's when we'll encounter it. So if I were to cut the engines right now, we'll come across it in an hour. Well, not 100% an hour because we'll slow down a lot when entering the atmosphere. Alright, we're getting closer. 40,000. 45. 50. 55. 60. Now I usually get it to 61 just in case. Alright, now we're not far out enough yet to get to the mun, but I'll show you how you do that. Now sometimes things don't work out, so just click skip, of course. Alright, so you want to move this about this area maybe, and then you want to click this button. Just increase your scale a little and move it up till it's at the mun's orbit. And you want to move around a little. Oh, you see that? No. Just decrease that. And move that around. Okay, so let's increase. You can decrease your scale a little and just click the arrows here. Oh, there you go. Did you see that? Great. We have an encounter with a mun. So if I burn at this area for this time, we'll move like this, we'll encounter the mun, and we'll escape. But we're not gonna escape it. I'll show you how to, well, not escape it. To just move towards the maneuver node, you press that button, and then you open your solar panels to get some power going. If you're out of complete power before you can open the panels, I don't think you'll be able to open them. So just open them early, even though there's no sun around. If you right click on them, it'll say how much sun exposure, status blocked by Kerbin, meaning the planet is in our way. Okay, so we'll reach the node in an hour or two, so we just want to warp. That'll be the mun at day 175. Oh, okay. Let's do money to try one. Because this is me trying to get an encounter. It doesn't always run as smoothly. Now this green line means if we'll encounter the moon, and then we'll escape the moon, and then we'll move along this line around Kerbin in an orbit. That's if we didn't slow down and miss the moon. Now this is by how much you'll increase your speed. This is how long you'll be burning estimated to your speed. So once that reaches 0, you press Z and you start to burn. And the line will start to move. Periapsis is also a bit high, which is good, because your periapsis could decrease with each orbit if it's low enough. But we'll make the moon before it's below the atmosphere, hopefully. Alright, almost 10 seconds left. Now you want to start to slow down your throttle a little, so that time increases because the speed is slower. Like 15 seconds. Now this is when you'll encounter the node. This plus means you passed it. So if we were to suddenly go the opposite direction, it would take us about a minute to get there. Alright, let's decrease it really low. Alright, slowly. One meter. Alright, stop. Then just click this check. That happens, don't worry about it, it's fine. Alright, let's save this as travel, because we're now traveling to the moon. Now what you can do is orient the rocket towards normal. This will get it more sunlight. Maybe once it's in the sun. Or you could do radial out. That'll make the top of the rocket point towards the sun and, or relatively to the sun, and all the solar panels will get tons of power. Now you don't actually have to turn the lights on, but it looks different, I think. It doesn't really have an effect, just makes you see a rocket better. So, alright, so now let's warp. So it looks like we'll be making another orbit around Kerbin. Or maybe not. Maybe we encounter the moon here. But I don't think that'll happen. Because this is the moon at day 175. Alright, we'll make another orbit and then we'll encounter it again. Just want to slow down a little. Alright, so there's not another blue line there, meaning if we escape now, we'll be going around the purple line. Is that increasing? Not burning or anything, so okay. It's weird. Yeah, it's pretty slow at these parts. Because we're really close to Kerbin. How high are we? We're not close. Oh, there's the Mun, our destination. And I wonder if you can see Min Mist from here. Now you want to land on the day side, of course. And it's currently the side facing towards Kerbin. Some weird things are happening here that I do not understand. Alright, let's just continue the journey. So you warp. And there's the Mun catching up to us. And that's a really weird encounter. We'll be making a loop. Kind of what the Apollo missions loop looked like. They also had plans in case something went wrong, they would just return straight to Earth. And that's warp 15 minutes. Now the solar panels are getting tons of sun exposure, and there's the moon. Or the moon, as they call it. They all seem pretty excited. Let's just warp a little further. Alright. We've arrived at the moon. Now you want to add a maneuver node. Now you might want to move its position a little later, but for now let's just get the basic stuff. So you want to increase your scale a bit and click this button, the retrograde. This is not, oh wow, I just clicked something, okay. Okay, you want to move it a bit close. You want to make sure your periapsis is not in the planet, because otherwise you're going to crash. It's really hard to get a good orbit these days. What just happened? Okay, well. Click retrograde. Let's zoom out a little. See if that's enough. No, it's not enough. Let's retrograde a bit. And it looks like well, Houston, we have a problem. Alright, we won't be able to orbit, but we'll still be able to land, so I guess I'll just have to go for a full landing. As I can't get an orbit around here. Let's retrograde it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go straight for the landing. Alright, then let's make the mun our focus so we can just see better here at our landing zone. Alright, the day side preferably. And you want to make sure you land on a relatively flat area, or at least looks flat. It's really hard to tell. Yeah, that's my best guess. And I just want to make him turn towards the maneuver. Now, where's Minmus? Oh, Minmus on the whole opposite side. I don't think we'll be able to see Minmus from here. Alright, let's warp to the node. Now, this is the part where you do want to quick save. No, I'm gonna select the one. Alright, now you might want to go to the tracking station and just fly it again, as your focus is not on it anymore. Alright, we'll encounter in 40 seconds, but what you can do so long is extend the landing legs. I have some things on the moon already, but we'll not be coming close to any of them. I want to land on the side where you can see Kerbin preferably, because it makes for a great view. But you also want to preferably land in the day side, because in the dark on the dark side it's way too dark to see, so landing will be difficult. Alright, we're burning for about a minute. Now, if there's not enough fuel to return, you could launch a rescue mission or just leave the Kerbals. You know, terminate the spacecraft, regard them as lost. They will respawn, though. I mean, you still would have planted your flag. Alright, so that's slowly decreasing. Okay, maybe not slowly. But it's decreasing very fast. For those Americans, I think 1 meter is 3 feet. I'm not sure. And 1.6 kilometers is like a mile. 3, 2, 1. Alright, just increase a little. Something isn't right here. You're supposed to be up there. It doesn't matter anymore. We just want a relatively flat landing area. That landing area looks good. Now, the planet will turn, so the landing area may not be as stable as you see it here. This is not a planet. Alright, so we'll call this one approach. I probably misspelled that. Okay, so then you want to click this button and point retrograde. Now, retrograde means the top of your rocket is moving the opposite direction that you are. Well, there's Kerbin and here's the moon. So you just want to maybe warp a little closer. Yeah, you see the line is moving because the moon is turning. That's one of the issues. Because that area does not look too stable. Cross that bridge when we get there. Alright. We're pretty close now. Okay, maybe not that close. We're still pretty high. Let's just warp a bit closer. Okay, now we're kind of high, and let's slow down a little. Now the landing legs are doing that thing. The square is pointing outwards, but once this thing says your speed is relative to the surface and not the orbit, then I think they'll move a little for landing. It's still pretty high because you can see the curve of the moon. You're near close when it's just a straight line and not a curve. But we're still pretty high up. Now the area, it looks not so stable. I might fail the landing a few times, but there's always quick saves in case something goes wrong. Alright, so you can speed up a little if you're impatient, but patience is kind of necessary. Alright, so I'm gonna warp till about 25,000 or 20,000. Now you actually want to set this to how high you are above the surface. This is the lowest point on the Mun, the entire planet, but this is how high you are from the ground. Alright, 17 kilometers above the ground. This is the atmosphere meter, so on Kerbin it's full because there's a full atmosphere. Here there's nothing. Kerbin's the only planet that they can breathe on, but Lathe is a moon of Jewel. They can also breathe on that. But that's a story for another day since I do not have the skills to get there yet. Now taking off on the moon's much easier than Earth. Oh wow, slow down, stop, 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 burn. I think I made a mistake warping that fast. Oh, you can see our shadow. We're maybe going a bit too fast. So we'll just burn straight up, full burn, until we land. Okay, we are good. We're in the clear. You just want to ZX, a little to just slow down. We're getting pretty close and these landing legs are not out yet. You do not want to go too fast, otherwise you'll start moving up and you'll be off course entirely. Oh, you see, like that. That happens if you go up a little. Alright, so let's just warp a little. Point retrograde for us, please. We do not want to crash. Alright, let's just slow down a bit. They all still seem fine. You can also turn the interior overlay and see inside what they're doing in there. Not much. Not much going on. Alright, we're going straight down now. That's a good sign. Look at her smile. She's very happy to be here. Alright, let's forward a bit. And slow down. Oh, we should change that. That would have been bad. It's important that you change that. Otherwise, you could be landing on a mountain that's like 2 kilometers high, so you'll be like, oh, still 2 kilometers to slow down. Then you have no time to slow down in reality. Getting some good sun exposure. Now these things turn to automatically point towards the sun. He's blocked by the ship, so he's not getting any power. But the rest are getting enough power because we're not using that much power. Alright, let's... Oh, unable to save. Okay, that's very reassuring. But it looks like the landing area is stable. I just made a human error. That's what caused us to topple over. Broke Kerbal error. Because I'm a Kerbal now. Slow. Oh, stable, stable. Oh. Well, congratulations. We just landed on the moon. I'm gonna use this as the thumbnail. Alright, and the surface speed's nothing, meaning we're not sliding anymore. Alright, let's save as, Alright, great, let's get to work. Let's extend the ladder. Extend that. It's a bit dark this side, but there'll be light. Because these ladders are creating light. Alright, our scientist can do the honors. EVA. So yeah, you just hold above them and click EVA. Oh, you got your visor on. Genius, man. Now EVA stands for extravehicular activity. It's basically just a spacewalk. So he's gonna have to jump. Unless he grabs the ladder. Oh yeah, good. We don't want him to break his precious bones. Although you do fall slow on the moon, you could probably still break your bones. Alright. You ready? Okay, you klutz. Great. We're on the moon. Jump. This is how high you jump. You can also remove his visor. Raised visor, yes. But it's not recommended since the sun is so bright it could blind you. Alright, so you right click him, you do EVA report, keep experiment, take surface sample, keep experiment. Large number of materials layered over time. Oh, in the highlands, or basically on a mountain. And there's only one flag. You know, depending on the rocket, there are limits to flags. I don't know what affects it, maybe it's the size. Alright. The site name. You could just give it a name and then you could stand here. Yeah. My other flags have much more inspiring things, I promise. You can also click remove helmet, but no atmosphere. Alright, so getting back. You can just right click and say take down and read. Yep. Alright, so getting back up the rocket's the tricky part. So you just want to go below the ladder, click spacebar and F. There you go. It's back on the ladder. Now there's no ladder on the stack separator. Yeah. So that's an issue. So you just want to climb to the top. You want to jump and click R and move like forward. So you just want to basically climb. Careful of the solar panels, they are extremely fragile. This is not going well. Oh, come on, you did it. There you go, we got the ladder. That was easier than it was last time. So you just click B to board. And now he's got science. This is sandbox, so there won't actually be science. But the science will be retrieved or given to Earth once we land. If you have an antenna, you can just transmit it right now. And there's only enough room for the moon EVA report and the surface samples. But save this as takeoff, since we're taking off from the moon. My captcha's on. I'm lost. There we go. Alright, now getting back is not hard at all, so which way should we burn though? That's a good question. That way, so that's D, right? I believe that's D. Oh yeah, one thing you might want to do is retract our ladders. I don't think it really matters that much. I think it's D, we want to fly D. So you just click Z and then D. Okay, maybe, you know, this is fine. Just maybe, yeah, this is fine. Alright, so you just want to turn straight up 90 degrees. And you can retract your landing gear. Alright, so now we have an increasing apoapsis. And you just want to fly until you escape the orbit. You know what would be a better idea? To just launch straight. We'd use less fuel and we'd escape the Mon's orbit with, or escape the Mon with less fuel. That'll probably work better. You can test it if you want on curve and launch a rocket and try to use my method to get in orbit and launch straight up. You'll use less fuel straight up. Alright, let's return. Going straight vertical. We have stability assist. And let's retract the landing gear. Or the landing legs. Alright, so now we're going straight up, and at some point we should be escaping his orbit into Kerbin's orbit. Then you just wanna, all you wanna do is slow your speed till you enter the atmosphere. As simple as that. I'm just turning off my filters. Going up. I don't know at which height you escape is sphere of influence, but it's definitely less than Kerbin since he's 10 times smaller. A planet's sphere of influence is, well, if you're out of its sphere of influence, you're not affected by its gravity anymore. You'd then be affected by the sun's gravity. Okay, it actually extends pretty far. There we go. Alright. So let's save this as... Alright, then you just want to warp a little. That's a bit slow. We will be going slower since the moon is pulling us back, but we have enough speed to escape its gravity. This may not be running as smoothly. Alright. We're returning. So now you want to create a maneuver node. I think you want to place it on your apoapsis. I think that's best. I'm just going to click down here and retrograde. So you will be going pretty far out, even passing Mimus's orbit. But it's necessary. I hope we have enough fuel, but we should. Node in 11 days. Yeah, they're going pretty far. Now you want your periaps to be below 60 kilometers. We're gonna re-encounter the moon. No, please no. No, still too high. It doesn't matter if you land on land or in the ocean. The point is you're back home. Okay, that's good. That's definitely good. Great, so orient towards the maneuver node, and we'll be spending another 11 days in space. Don't worry, my curls. You'll be fine. Alright, so you just wanna warp 10 days to the future. I haven't done it before, but further in the game, things would be taking long. I mean, I saw a YouTuber that went to Jewel and the return journey was 3 years. So, a couple of days in space will just prepare you for the years you'll spend in space if you travel far. 2 more hours. I think a day on Kerbin's 5 hours and a year is 400 something days. Alright, you just want to move him closer to your apoapsis a bit. Warp. I believe we're pointing retrograde too, because you want to burn retrograde to slow your velocity so that you're affected by Kerbin's orbit more and return. The return journey is one of the best parts, because you're touched down in the ocean knowing that you've just made your first moon landing. Or your 100th. But you returned safely, that's the point. Alright, 20 more seconds. 19, 18, 17, 15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, burn. This burns pretty fast. And if you have some extra fuel left, like I do, that's excellent, because you can use that to slow your velocity if you return. Alright, let's save the game as return approach. Great, so let's just warp. Let's hope we don't go back to the moon. Oh, 6 days there, so it's a pretty long journey. Journey to the moon so far is 22, 23 days. Yeah, 5 hours is a day confirmed. 25 days. In real life it took like a week, right? Or less. Or more. In terms of total, it probably took longer. They had to do quarantine on things because they're scared of space diseases. Us Kerbals have no such fears. Oh yeah, you might want to point retrograde. That's an important detail. Oh, wait, we're still high. Alright. Wow. Yeah, she finds this awesome. Alright, can we, burn notes? A bit too early to slow down. Just warp a little. Alright, how are we? Alright, let's burn to just slow down our velocity. So that, yeah. The slower you move through the atmosphere, the less you'll heat up. And we also want to go slow enough so that we don't just smash into the ocean. Although the parachute should be enough to slow us down. Yeah, he's celebrating. Because it's in just one of his another successful flights, because he's one of my best pilots. Well, he is the best. His stupidity is 0 and his courage is full. So he's not afraid of anything. Oh, wow, that's not good. Alright, so you want to click the space bar. And, this may not be going so smoothly as I hoped. Oh, the engine is still on. You can stop now. It stopped. Alright, the stack separator will light on fire. Or maybe burn. Okay, so that should crash in the ocean, preventing space debris. Everything's smooth so far. Alright, looks like the burn has stopped. So you just want to click spacebar, and this will deploy when it's safe to deploy. And I'll get rid of the heat shield. Get rid of, wiggle it off. It will wiggle. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Ah, there you go. Oh, come on. Bye-bye. I'm done with you. Now, the reason you want to deploy that is because it's aerodynamic. So the capsule's less aerodynamic now, so it'll slow down faster. Alright, let's save this as... I call it splash because you're splashing down in the ocean. I think that survived the fall. Well, it's on Kerbin, so we can retrieve it. It's not a big deal. Alright, just time warp because this process is slow. At about 800 meters, that parachute will open up. And we're going maybe a bit too fast. Yeah, that's not good. Slow down a little. Okay, we survived. Great, so now that you've returned, just hover your mouse over here and click Recover Vessel. Now you've got your science and your people. But there's still one issue, and that's space debris, or sea pollution, because it's in the ocean. Now how you get that is you click on the tracking station. Let's turn off all of the filters to see better. Then you click here. So there's tons of space debris in space. Yeah, but the ones in space are the issue, not the ones on Earth. Hotel debris, oh yeah. Planet station. Oh yeah, I remember this. So you just click recover down there. Yes, I'm sure I want to recover. Is this... Yep, this is also splashed down, so we recover that. That is not splashed down, that is splashed down. So you recover that. How much space debris is there? Oh wow, there is a ton of planet station space debris. If it says splash down at Kerbin, you can recover it. Or if it says landed on Kerbin. This is on the moon, so we cannot recover that. Splash down. I think that's all. In flight. You're saying me that's gonna crash down eventually? I hope so. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.